Here in the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean lie chains of islands so beautiful they seem almost unreal. The Maldives, Kiribati, Tuvalu, these are places of brilliant white sand, crystal clear turquoise waters, and vibrant coral reefs teeming with life. For generations, people have lived in harmony with the sea, their lives shaped by its gentle rhythms and its generous bounty. The ocean has always been a provider, a neighbor, a constant and reassuring presence. It is woven into the very fabric of their culture, their stories, and their identity. But today, this ancient relationship is changing in a most profound and dangerous way. The world is warming. As temperatures rise, the great ice sheets at the poles are melting at an alarming rate, pouring vast quantities of water into our oceans. At the same time, the seawater itself is expanding as it warms. For nations that sit just a few feet above sea level, this slow, relentless rise is not a distant threat. It is a present reality. The very ground beneath people's feet is becoming uncertain. What was once a paradise, a safe haven passed down through countless generations, is now a front line in a global crisis. A crisis that its people did little to create yet are the first to suffer from. The science is clear and the evidence is visible everywhere you look. The rising sea is not a gentle guest. It is an intruder. It creeps into homes during high tides, poisons freshwater wells with salt, and erodes the precious coastlines that protect the communities. Each year, the waves seem to reach a little further inland, claiming more of the land that is so vital for housing, for farming, and for life itself. This is not a single dramatic event, but a slow, creeping emergency that unfolds day by day, tide by tide, altering the landscape and the future of an entire nation. Imagine knowing that your home, the place where you were born and where your ancestors are buried, might one day simply disappear beneath the waves. This is the stark reality for hundreds of thousands of people. It is a weight that hangs over every decision, every plan for the future, and every new generation. The fight for these islands is more than a fight for land. It is a fight for existence, for culture, and for the right to call a place home. The beauty of these islands remains, but it is now tinged with a deep and understandable anxiety about what tomorrow will bring. For the families living on these low-lying atolls, the changing climate has transformed everyday life into a series of constant and wearying challenges. Simple things, once taken for granted, are now a daily struggle. Fresh water, for instance, is becoming increasingly scarce. Underground lenses of fresh water, which have sustained island life for centuries, are being contaminated by salt water seeping in from the rising ocean. Many communities now rely entirely on rainwater collection systems, making them incredibly vulnerable during periods of drought. A lack of rain means a lack of drinking water, a problem that affects health, sanitation, and daily survival. The foundations of society, homes, schools, and hospitals are under direct threat. During seasonal king tides, which are now higher and more destructive than ever before, seawater floods homes, classrooms, and community spaces. Families must move their belongings to higher ground, and children may be unable to attend school for days. The constant exposure to salt water corrodes building materials, causing homes to weaken and crumble. People are forced to rebuild their houses again and again, often with limited resources, knowing that the next flood is never far away. It is a cycle of destruction and repair that drains both their finances and their spirits. Farming, a traditional source of food and income, is also becoming nearly impossible. The salt that poisons the drinking water also makes the soil infertile. Crops like taro and breadfruit, which have been staples of the local diet for generations, wither and die in the salty ground. This forces communities to become more dependent on expensive imported foods, which can be unreliable and less nutritious. The loss of traditional agriculture is not just a practical problem. It represents a disconnection from the land and the cultural practices that have defined island life for so long. Even the final resting places of their ancestors are not safe. Cemeteries, often located near the coast, are being washed away by the encroaching sea. Graves are being exposed and bones are being scattered by the waves, a deeply distressing and culturally painful experience for the community. It feels as though the ocean is not only threatening their future, but also erasing their past. This loss of sacred ground adds a profound layer of emotional and spiritual grief to the physical challenges they already face, making the crisis deeply personal and all-encompassing. To truly understand what is at stake, we must listen to the people who call these islands home. Their voices carry a mixture of fear, determination, and a deep love for their homeland. Eneli Sopoaga, a former Prime Minister of Tuvalu, has spoken passionately on the world stage, not as a politician, but as a father and a grandfather. He often asks world leaders, "Are you going to just stand by and watch us sing?" His words are not just a plea for help, they are a demand for justice, a reminder that the fate of his nation rests in the hands of a global community that has been slow to act. A young woman from Kiribati, who grew up watching the shoreline of her village recede year after year, shares a more personal fear. "I worry about my children," she might say, her voice quiet but firm. "Where will they live? Will they know the stories of our people? Or will our culture be washed away with the land?" This is a fear shared by many parents. They are not just concerned about physical survival, but about the survival of their identity. The thought of becoming climate refugees scattered across foreign lands means losing the songs, the dances, and the community bonds that make them who they are. There are stories of resilience too. An elder from a small island might describe how his community worked together to build a seawall from coral rocks and sandbags. He speaks with pride about their efforts, but also with a deep sadness. "We do what we can," he explains, looking out at the vast ocean. "We are people of the sea. We are not afraid of it. But this is different. This is a fight we cannot win on our own. The sea is our friend, but it is becoming too strong." His words capture the islanders' profound connection to the ocean and their heartbreak at its betrayal. The youth are also speaking out, using technology to share their stories with the world. A young activist might post a video of a flooded school, a powerful visual testament to their daily reality. Their message is often one of urgency and hope. "We are not drowning, we are fighting," is a common refrain. They don't want pity, they want action. They hope that by showing the world the human face of climate change, they can inspire the global community to make the drastic changes needed to lower emissions and give their islands a chance to survive for future generations. Despite the immense and overwhelming threat they face, the people of these sinking islands are not passive victims. They are actively fighting for their future with remarkable courage and ingenuity. Communities are coming together to implement adaptation strategies, drawing on both traditional knowledge and modern innovation. They are building seawalls, planting mangrove forests to act as natural coastal barriers, and elevating their homes on stilts. These are not permanent solutions, but they buy precious time, demonstrating a powerful will to survive and protect their way of life. Education and advocacy have become crucial tools for survival. Leaders from island nations are tirelessly traveling the globe, speaking at international climate conferences and demanding that wealthier, high-polluting nations take responsibility for their emissions. They are forging alliances, sharing their stories, and framing climate change not as an environmental issue, but as a human rights issue. The government of the Maldives has even held an underwater cabinet meeting to draw global attention to their plight, a dramatic and unforgettable statement about the future that awaits them if nothing changes. Some nations are taking even more drastic steps, planning for a future that seems almost unthinkable. The government of Kiribati has purchased land in Fiji, more than 1,000 miles away, as a potential refuge for its people should the worst come to pass. This migration with dignity strategy is a last resort, a heartbreaking acknowledgement that their homeland may become uninhabitable. It is a plan born of desperation, but it is also a testament to their foresight and their deep sense of responsibility for the well-being of their citizens, ensuring they have a place to go. The fate of these islands is a message to the world. Their struggle is a clear and urgent warning of what is to come for other coastal communities if we fail to act decisively. Their resilience is an inspiration, but it is not enough. The global community has a moral obligation to help. This means drastically cutting greenhouse gas emissions, investing in renewable energy, and providing financial support to help these nations adapt and protect themselves. The people of the sinking islands are fighting for their homes. Their hope lies in the belief that humanity will choose to fight with them, ensuring that these vibrant cultures and beautiful places do not become a lost memory beneath the waves.